Writers often discuss the zero draft, a rough document where they begin to shape their ideas. But what if even getting that far feels impossible? Writers can take a step further back and try something new, the negative draft. Here's where generative AI helps you overcome the blank page problem. Many writers think they must know exactly what they want to say before they begin. But clarity often comes from recognizing what doesn't work as much as from identifying what does. A negative draft helps writers clarify their thinking by reacting to what does not work. But let's define negative draft, so we're all on the same page here. The negative draft is a step between planning and drafting, a way to generate material to react to. Sometimes you don't know what you want until you see what you don't want. Generative AI can play a valuable role in this process by providing material to evaluate, reshape, and reject. Creating something you'll largely reject was once too laborious to consider, but generative AI makes it possible. AI-generated output is not a draft in any real sense. It's a probability-driven response. But it allows the stuck writer to overcome the blank page problem and have something to respond to. But why should you do this? At its core, the negative draft is an experiment. Input notes or a rough outline into a generative AI tool and get a full draft in return. Depending on the tool or prompt, the output may be generic, imprecise, or simply wrong. You may get ideas that are flat, oversimplified, conflated, or distorted. Whatever you get, you will notice how you feel about it because you didn't create the text yourself. You can see it with an editor's eyes with no ownership. Unless the AI-generated text is particularly cogent, you won't feel the need to salvage it. You can keep what works, delete the rest, and write something better. Noticing and reflecting on your reaction is the point. You can see what needs to change and change it. But remember, if you keep any part of the negative draft, review it critically, cut, reshape, rework it, and make it your own. Aim to use no more than 10 to 20% of the text you've received. The negative draft is rooted in this idea. Clarity often arises through trial and error. This approach works for a few reasons. First, writers are often frozen by the pressure to create a perfect draft. A negative draft removes that pressure. Second, rejecting weak ideas, vague phrasing, or poor structure sharpens clarity. Engaging with concrete text is easier than working with undeveloped ideas. And third, seeing what doesn't work helps writers analyze their goals to clarify what matters. By making rejection an intentional part of the process, the negative draft helps writers develop a stronger sense for effective writing. You didn't fail, the tool did. So frustration becomes an opportunity. Good writing is built on critical thinking. So even though generative AI can help you overcome the blank page, it is not the answer to creating a first draft. It is key to wrestle with idea formation before using generative AI. Without this intellectual effort, generative AI is not responding to you. You're responding to generative AI. The negative draft stimulates reflection through rejection. It is meant to prompt more of your own thinking. Thinking and planning will help you move on to the zero draft. The zero draft is the first version we can truly call writing. It is written with intent, shaped by the writer's own decisions, and structured with a real audience and the full rhetorical situation in mind. The zero draft marks the point where the writer has figured out what they want to say. It reflects conscious choices about purpose, topic, angle, voice, style, and tone. While still rough, it is human, authentic, and intentional. The AI-generated text, having served its purpose, is discarded. Now, the writer is in charge. Once the zero draft is done, the writer moves on to create a genuine first draft. This draft should feel structured, intentional, and complete, but it will still need more work. The next drafts include revisions for clarity, precision, and accuracy. The writer strengthens arguments, improves sentence structure, and enhances coherence. Revision improves logic and argumentation. Editing improves clarity and style. And proofreading eliminates typos and formatting issues. Each step moves the document closer to its final state. The negative draft is just one approach. Some writers will find it helpful. Others may continue with the traditional approach and move directly from research and outlining to drafting. Either way, the goal is the same: to reach the point where the writer begins making concrete writing choices. By making rejection part of the process, the negative draft transforms uncertainty into insight and hesitation into progress. Ultimately, the best writing comes from the writer, from careful thought, revision, and refinement.